What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the GoodeBaker podcast. I'm Nick Baker, and across from me, Shane Good.
Yes.
And we are here to talk to you about some video games. But of course, first things first, what have we been playing?
Deja vu. I feel like I've been playing some fives. First time in like a month and a half, like 2 months. People needed a jungle last night. Decided I was going to play. I only played like 2 rounds of League, but it worked out pretty well, actually. I did pretty well. The first one was a FF. We had a dominating lead where I got all of the dragons, and I got us a 21-minute Baron, and felt pretty good. My calls were pretty on as well, which was pretty good. And then the second one, not so hot. My teammates didn't do specifically well in their lanes, so I suck at that particular character I was playing Xin Zhao. He's like an old classic of mine. Like, I played him back in like season 2, and for reference, now we're in like season 13 or 14.
Ooh.
So
you're a little rusty.
My mechanics are like, I'm good mechanically, but I don't remember all of his like auto timings and all of his cast timings and stuff like that. I don't remember how long it takes to get from point A to point B with his walk speed and stuff like that. So it makes a big difference when you're playing. You know, like those little numbers make a big difference. Especially the enemy was playing a character called Ivern, and he just literally sat bottom lane for the first like 15 minutes of the game, which I knew he was gonna do. However, there was a couple people that were having some hard times dealing with it, so didn't work out super well.
Oh no!
But I've been playing a new game.
Oh.
I know. It's a game called Assetto Corsa.
Assetto Corsa. I didn't try to spell that like you said, but
yeah, I
put down car game for PC.
Correct. It's a car game for PC. It's actually a car game that's on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. Probably will be on PS5.
Dang. Right.
It's not moddable on console. On computer, it's moddable, so I basically just downloaded it, and I'm having fun drifting around and stuff like that. And
in your own car.
Literally in my IS-300. I found an IS-300 model, and I was like, I want that one.
Yes. That's awesome, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but what have you been playing?
So it is officially Madden season again.
It is.
Yes.
It is Madden season.
Madden came out, well, for those of you that pre-ordered the deluxe edition, it came out on Tuesday, I think, but I got it on Friday because I'm not gonna pay that extra $20 for 3 days.
$20.
Forget that. But man, I'm having a lot of fun with it. The mechanics are practically the same as last year. There are a few tweaks here and there as far as like animations and stuff are a little bit smoother, I'd say. Some juking and stuff like that seems a little bit tighter, and you can kind of combo together some moves that you weren't able to before. But other than that, it's practically the same game. So having fun with Madden again this year. New roster. Playing through the franchise now, and I think I won my 4th game there. So
nice.
It's looking pretty good. 4-0. Go Eagles. But
Eagles, huh?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I'm one of those New England brats that roots for a not New England team.
Hey man, New England this year is gonna get real funky because there's a lot of people still wearing Brady t-shirts, and there's a lot of people that are hating on people who wear Brady t-shirts.
A lot of people wearing Brady jerseys from Tampa now.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different ball of wax there. But other than that, I have been I bought Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, the remastered edition. I was kind of tooling around with that. I haven't found anybody to play with yet, but we're going to be getting a party together and going through that game again.
Sounds like fun.
I'm sure. So that'll be a fun little break from everything else that I'll be playing. Avengers is coming out this week, so I'm going to be looking forward to that. I already have that pre-ordered, so I'm ready for that. But anyway, on to the big topics of the week. We're going to run through these pretty quickly because we're kind of pinched for time. But Gamescom highlights. Gamescom was this week.
Gamescom.
It was kind of lackluster in a lot of ways. I feel like they could have brought more, or maybe should have like pushed a little bit more to get some of those like PS5, Xbox Series X exclusives in here. They have a few sprinkled in, but I just wrote down some of the things that kind of stuck out to me in the 3 days that they had their live streams up. So we're gonna start with Ratchet and Clank gameplay. So New Ratchet and Clank gameplay. Yeah.
No Ratchet and Clank.
That's not the hardest thing to say.
Yeah, believe it or not, there's a harder one later. Stick around.
Ratchet and Clank looks as good as ever. The ray tracing for the PS5 gameplay looks dope. I can't wait to actually have it in my hands on my 4K TV and see it in action. But the on the technical side of things, all the new stuff that they were doing with the SSD is really smoothed out, as you can see in the trailer. They kind of fixed the portal jumping where it was a little hitchy before. It's now really, really smooth, and I assume that by whenever this game comes out, they said release window, so I imagine it's probably going to be early next year because they want to push it away from Spider-Man Miles Morales. Right. They want to spread that out a little bit.
Makes sense.
I imagine by then it's going to just run like a top. So this got me really excited. It's the most excited I've ever been for a Ratchet and Clank game, I think. So it's pretty awesome. What are your thoughts on it? You saw a little bit of it.
So I saw a little bit of it. I remember seeing it before and us talking about how like it looks really cool and it's a really cool idea, but it just had like a lot of like visual kind of hiccups. The gameplay that I saw, it seems like they've fixed a lot of those visual hiccups. It seems like a lot of, even some of the smaller stuff, like a lot of the animations for like when you're shooting enemies and they pop up into the air, it seems very smooth and very like, not like the bullets hit and then there's like a pushback and then there's the physics of like
like
and it like
framey and
like
weird.
Frames up. So it seems like they've done a lot for it. I would be interested to see. I don't know. I don't believe that because I looked at it, I don't believe they said that was specifically running on PS5 right now.
It was captured on PS5.
It was captured on PS5. I didn't see where it said it.
Very, very little thing at the very end of the trailer. So I'm not sure if the first one was.
Yeah.
But this one is definitely captured on a PS5, which is even more impressive, I think. To see it finally kind of all together and running on that system.
It's always. You know, you don't really like learn the limits of a console until so much later in the console's lifespan.
Oh, yeah.
So to see something that looks that pretty and is just that seamless so early in the console's life cycle, I mean, the console hasn't even come out yet. Right. We're already seeing things like that in its life cycle. It's gonna be really interesting. I'm looking forward to see what they come out with.
Yeah. And on to our next topic. The Dragon Age team at BioWare has finally given us an update. They showed off some screenshots and concept art for the new game while developers talked over. It wasn't too interesting or in-depth. They just kind of gave you hope for the future, but they did show some slightly in-engine mechanics, I'd say. And it does seem like they're going to try and go above and beyond with this one, especially because it's taken them... when did Anthem came out? Like 3 years ago, I think now. So ever since that was tail-ended, they've been working on this. I think even before that, they kind of jumped onto this. So they're really taking this one seriously and taking their time with it. I don't expect us to see this anytime soon, but at this juncture, I think that they're really putting their best foot forward into the Dragon Age because they really can't fuck up again.
No, I mean... How much worse can it get other than... oh, gosh dang it. I just had a brain fart. We just said the game.
Anthem.
Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's pretty forgettable.
Yeah, I don't think you can get much worse than Anthem. You know, maybe like... I don't know. Maybe like the original Frogger 2D2. Like, the first one was good, and then they tried to make a second one, and it just was... awful. Yeah. Awful game. Nothing can compare to that. But anyways.
Anthem and Frogger 2.
Anthem, Frogger 2.
Two in the same.
Bamboo Kazooie 3. Not great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. Well, we could talk about bad games all day, but I feel like Dragon Age is actually going to make a comeback. And, you know, I really enjoyed Inquisition for what it was. It wasn't, it didn't grab me the whole way through. I didn't complete it, but I did appreciate what it was trying to do as far as like a storytelling aspect. And I love that Mass Effect character-driven storytelling feel, and that really shined through in the last Dragon Age. But on to our next topic. World of Warcraft got a new expansion called Shadowlands, and that's coming out in October. I think it's October 26th or 23rd, something like that.
Right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
That's like, what, a week?
Those WoW kids better get ready.
That's exactly a week. 26?
October.
It's exactly a week and 1 month.
That's right. So, yeah, it's they announced it by showing a really long animated short.
Yeah, it was like 15 minutes or something.
It was like weird kind of stop motion. It didn't really play well on the stage. And this was kind of another weird misstep that I think Gamescom had this year. And it might have just been because it's all digital and everything's really disjointed. But, you know, they shut off a little bit of gameplay after that trailer. The in-world looks very similar to WoW, but they're I don't know, they're crafting a whole new area for people to explore in that, and I think that's going to be really exciting for the people that are still down with the expansion after expansion WoW instead of the WoW Classic that came out. But with that in the rearview mirror,
yikes!
Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga gets a new trailer and is announced to be releasing next year. Now, this one kind of caught me by surprise because the gameplay for this one was much different than I expected a Lego game to look like. Typically, you have that like top-down, almost Diablo-style look to a Lego game, but now it's kind of set back behind your character. It seems like a more single-player focused feel.
Like a third person?
Yeah, it's like almost like a third person, like a Division style camera where you're right behind your character.
Oh, so it's like second person over the shoulder.
Yeah, almost like that. And yeah, it seems like they're kind of going deeper into their goofy story, even though it is kind of goofy. They're telling the serious parts of each story through a really unique lens, I feel like, and I'm excited to see what comes of this. I don't usually pick up the Lego Star Wars or any of the Lego games for that matter unless they're just there, but this one kind of, it ticked me over to the other side just a little bit. So we'll have to see more from this one. It's like I said, I think it's coming out early next year. I don't think there was an actual date, but yeah, it kind of got the juices flowing a little bit for that Lego, and honestly the sense of humor that these games have really drives it. So yeah, very interesting trailer and gameplay. Next on the list we have Haven. This one was a little weird. It reminded me of that game we couldn't think of the name of, where it's like a Breath of the Wild style game. And you're kind of skating around the world, and you're an archer, and you have the falcon. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. I don't know the name of the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of red, and you fight the big boss. It's like Shadow of the Colossus. If somebody knows the name of the game, comment in the comments below. But yeah, it looked interesting. Obviously, I put it on the list as a highlight because I think the concept is really unique. It's that style of gameplay where the overworld is much like the Breath of the Wild feel, and you kind of have this interesting traversal style where you're sliding across the world. But at the same time, when you get into combat with certain creatures, it's all brought back to turn-based, and it has like a co-op rhythm game kind of feel where you're filling in meters at the same time to try and complete combos together. Yeah. So in that way, it's really, really intriguing as far as a co-op game goes. I don't think a lot of co-op games really have that kind of synchronization. But yeah, I guess this is an Xbox Series X launch game, and it's this wasn't the one that they said was coming out on the date that they just announced it, but it will be a launch game for the Series X, and I think is probably going to be one of the more unique games for that. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
How I feel about that.
Next on the list is far more mainstream. Call of Duty Cold War got a new cinematic trailer. Well, new. They announced Cold War earlier in the week. Activision did themselves through Warzone in a really cool in-game event where you had to do this crazy mission and you had to make your way to stadium, and when you got there, like all this stuff took over your screen, and I watched a bunch of YouTubers go through it, and it looked super intense.
Looked pretty cool, actually.
But the new trailer focused on the game's titular mission, which is you're going to be taking down a Russian operative, I believe. I think his name's Perseus. And
sounds Russian.
Yeah, he's actually supposed to be a real guy that is almost not real. Like he's kind of like fabled. Like nobody's really seen him or knows about him, but he was supposedly supposed to be a part of all these secret operations that the Russians did in the Cold War. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go into a unique story surrounding that guy. Mm-hmm. Also, it's going to be a direct sequel of Black Ops 1.
Damn straight it is. Love Black Ops 1.
Black Ops 1's story was, and still is, probably my favorite Call of Duty story to this point. It's
so good.
Played with your mind so much. Like at the very end, you figure out you're crazy and like all these things are happening to you. You have PTSD, and it's really it set the benchmark for Call of Duty campaigns, in my opinion. So
100%. I think I was like 14 or 15 when I completed that, and I was like, wait a second.
Whoa. Did I just play Call of Duty? But yeah, so they're bringing back Mason and Woods, the Black Ops 1's main characters, and you're going to be creating your own character to follow them along through the story. So that'll be interesting to see whether you're involved much in the story or if you're just like a silent protagonist.
Yep.
But we have yet to see that and the multiplayer, which they said that they're going to be showing off in September. And I assume that they'll be rolling out more content as the release date gets closer. I think it's coming out in October, so we'll see.
Yep.
On to Fall Guys Season 2.
Woo! Fall Guys!
So have you played any of Fall Guys?
Nope. It's actually a pretty expensive game.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah. I believe it's like $30 or something like that. I can look it up while we're talking about it. But I'm pretty sure, it's a little more expensive for my blood. And anybody who actually knows me, I'm a pretty cheap kind of person. So, yeah.
Cue Deborah laughing.
Yeah, literally. Cue Deborah just being like, sad face.
So, yeah, anyway, Fall Guys.
That's $20.
$20, dang. Really lucky that I downloaded that for free.
You downloaded that for free?
Yeah, PS Plus, man. It's free.
That's why everybody's fucking playing it on PlayStation.
Yeah, that's right. So Season 2 is announced, and it's going to be a medieval theme. All the cosmetics and stuff are going to be medieval themed. The new levels are going to be like castles and bridges and all these different things that you're going to have to do. I'm really excited to see how much variety that they're going to be adding, because I think that's one of the main complaints with Fall Guys is that everything starts to get a little boring if you're playing the same mini games over and over again. So
yeah.
I'm glad to see that they're really putting in the work to change that up for people.
I mean, they've definitely, like, Fall Guys has a crazy following right now. And they have out of 133,000 reviews on Steam, that's just Steam, they have an 81% positivity rating. Like, that's pretty good especially for Steam, because a lot of people just like to do bad reviews.
I mean, the game just looks fun. I haven't played it myself. I've been far too submerged in so many other things. Mainly just Batman and Madden and now Final Fantasy 2. It's like I just haven't been able to get over there, but I'm definitely going to try this out probably before Season 2 comes out. They didn't announce a release date for Season 2, but I imagine it'll probably be within the next month or so. Because people are starting to get, like I said, kind of wound down on that. But can't wait to see all the hilarious stuff that comes out. Tim the Tap Man.
I was going to say Tim the Tap Man and his
getting roasted, and I love when he plays back with his community, because it just makes for such hilarious times. Next on the list.
Oh, it's so funny.
We got Star Wars Squadron. This game
looks cool.
This game has never looked better. They showed off a campaign trailer, and the campaign's going to consist of you just taking control of a Rebel pilot and an Imperial pilot at different points in a colliding mission. And at some point, you're going to come together. I assume you might have to choose a side, and that excites me alone. But the style and authenticity of this experience, I think, is going to be bonkers. Like I've never seen so much love and detail put into the cockpit of like an X-Wing or a TIE fighter. It just feels like you're in there, and not to mention this is going to be available in VR as well. Right. I don't know what platforms it's going to be available on, but I do know that they announced it a full VR compatibility with this. So that is really, really dope. You said you really like this.
Yeah. I think that the story kind of piece of like switching between two characters is really cool, but also I just like, there's a part of me, and I think there's a part of every gamer in us that just dreams of sitting in like a TIE fighter in VR and just like, you know what I mean?
The sounds, the screeching, like, all of it. Yeah, man, I'm so ready for it. And it's coming in. I think it's like $40. It's not even a full price $60 release. So that alone has me completely in. I'm totally gonna give it a shot just because I think I said this before when we talked about it before, but one of my favorite parts of the Battlefront series was flying around in the ships, and I felt like it wasn't quite fully realized, and this seems to be what I was really waiting for. So I'm down for this. And Rogue Squadron, man, that was such a great game. I can't wait to see what they do with this. But that being said, we're moving on to Borderlands 3. And this is the one that I'm going to have to be really slow with.
All right, you can say it.
Borderlands 3 is getting new DLC called Psycho Krieg and the Fantastic Flustercluck. Did it.
Nice.
The DLC will take the player into the mind of Psycho Krieg, who I guess at one point was the leader of the Crimson Raiders. I'm not sure how that fits into 3's storyline, because wasn't the leader there the
dude that
the chick there.
Oh yeah, the one that steals the siren's powers. And man, I haven't played that game in a long time, so I don't even remember.
Yeah, man, I got to get back to it because I bought it and I dipped my toes in the pool and I just like I got other things to do, and I feel bad that I didn't give it the chance it deserves. I feel like, but this seems to be a really fully realized DLC pack. It's going to take you, like I said, into the mind of this Psycho Krieg guy, which was a playable character in Borderlands 2. He was a fan favorite, I assume. And it just looks like craziness. There's a train that you have to fight. There's all these floating eyeballs and crazy things that are going to be happening in this Psycho's brain. So I imagine it's going to be hilarious, as every other Borderlands story is.
Dude, Borderlands is always so entertaining.
Yeah.
Sometimes it reminds me a lot of like if Awesome Knots had like cell shade animation. But,
And finally, on to our last topic. Little Nightmares 2 was announced. And this one is interesting simply because there's going to be co-op. And Little Nightmares, the gameplay that I've seen of just that game is creepy as hell. And I feel like the way to experience this game would probably be with somebody else, so that you can walk through and be like, it'd be scared together, and it'd be a fun time. But that is pretty much everything we got this week. Man, we blitzed through that, and it was still like 22 minutes. So
dang. If you've made it this far, though, I mean,
we love you.
Yeah,
stick around, because we'll be back next week.
Stick around by hitting that like button, subscribe, and
all that fun jazz. Go over to our Instagram page and look at our nothing that we have posted there.
That's right. You go do that.
You can also follow us on our Facebook page and keep up with everything that we got going on. We post every week to tell you when to listen to us. So hopefully you do that, and we'll see you next week. Peace.